Ich bin ein bisschen neidisch auf unseren ersten Vortragenden, denn ich hab ihn gerade kennengelernt. Es kommt gleich ein Hochkaräter und wären wir nicht so eine top seriöse Veranstaltung hier, würde man geneigt sein zu sagen, was für eine coole Sau. Also wirklich. Also er hätte eigentlich Rockstar werden müssen. Ich habe ja gerade, Guns N' Roses sind ja gerade wieder zusammengekommen, aber Foo Fighters, Nirvana, irgendwas in der Preisklasse. Stattdessen ist er einer der jüngsten Professoren überhaupt, war schon zum Business Professor of the Year nominiert, bezeichnet sich selbst als Yes Man. Ich habe dreimal gelesen, ob es Yes Man ist und nicht Yes Ma'am, aber Yes Man. Und sein Vortrag heute heißt Funny or Die. Es geht um die Erwartungsgesellschaft. Meine Erwartungen sind sehr hoch und ich freue mich sehr, dass wir gemeinsam unseren ersten Gast heute aus Schweden begrüßen können. Please welcome for his first speech in Germany, extra for you everybody here, Micael Dahlen. Have fun.
Hey Düsseldorf, guten Morgen meine schönen Damen und Herren. That's pretty much it. Alles gut, eh? Okay, let's start with the important stuff. Smartphones, tablets, have you switched them off, stowed them away? Really? Is that even possible? Please, please pick them up again, switch them. Don't you know terrible things can happen? Haven't you read in the news? There's an actual clinical diagnosis that you could suffer from SWS. Have you ever experienced that? Smartphone withdrawal symptoms. Typical symptoms are involuntary muscle spasms in your thumb, not really knowing what to do anymore, or phantom buzzes somewhere on your person, where it usually buzzes every 10 seconds or so, or even existential anxiety. Am I still alive? Is this really happening? While not having your phone. So, for the sake of all of us, for the sake of the entire industry, because you're the future of the industry, right? Pick them up immediately. Switch them on. And while so doing, let's take this opportunity together to send someone a message. Someone you're thinking of right now, wishing they were here with us, but they're not for some reason. Someone you were thinking of on your way here, when you woke up this morning. Someone you're missing, someone you're thinking something kind about, because we think kind things, warm feelings about people all the time, but very rarely tell them. Because we don't have the time to do that. We're so stressed out, or we feel stupid. We feel embarrassed. I was in Miami the other week, and I asked them, and not even in Miami, and they don't mind speaking their minds. Not even they do that, the Americans, because we feel silly. We feel embarrassed. We think they won't care. But I'm pretty sure they do. So let's try and find out. Tell somebody you're missing them, you're thinking of them, what a great thing they said at the latest meeting, or just that their hair looks nice, or whatever you're thinking about someone right now. And send an email, a text message, a shout out on Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, Videofy Me, Kik, FaceTime, Periscope, all those wonderful routes we have to people's hearts and minds, and let's find out what happens. Okay? Go. And while you're at it, if you want to add me as a friend on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, I'll be so happy. I have so few friends. Which actually makes me wonder, how many people in here are married? Raise your hands. Let's see. Wow, okay. Cohabiting, that's the shit in Sweden. We don't marry, we cohabit. That's pretty much the rest of it, okay? So I'll have to stick to friends then. Okay, tell me, all of you, All of you who have partners, spouses, how many of you in the last week had sex with your spouse? Raise your hands. And that's the truth. Congratulations to the very few of you. Enjoy it while it lasts, because it won't for very long. It's the same thing in Sweden. In Sweden, we used to, that's what we in Sweden are famous for, right? For two things. We have fika, coffee and a cinnamon, and we have sex. That's what we do, right? But not anymore. In Sweden, we love one thing about as equally as having sex, and that is surveying each other about sex. We've had these national surveys, sex surveys, since the 1960s, when we ask people everything. Who do you have sex with? Where do you have sex with that person? How do you have sex with that person? Why do you have sex with that person? And for the last 50 years, we've never come up with such a low number as we did in the last survey. Do you know how frequently Swedes have sex nowadays? Well, of course you don't. You've never had sex with a Swede, right? Swedes don't have sex. Swedes have sex on the average 0.9 times a week. That's like we have one near sex experience every week. I just love statistics. Don't you want to meet that couple that almost have sex one time a week? That's like you want to meet the average family that has 2.2 kids. Okay, so this is Karl, this is Heinz, and a little bit like that. So Swedes don't, and obviously Germans not either, have sex anymore. The fastest growing activity in Swedish bedrooms nowadays, instead, is fiddling with these devices. That's what we do instead of having sex with our partners. And what do we do with these devices? They're really stuck in our hands. We date all kinds of clowns, literally. There's clown dating where you can date any clown you want. Pointy hat, big nose, big feet, choose, have your pick. They can be dead or alive. There's ghostsingles.com. Have you tried that one? The dating service for those of us who are or want to date someone who's dead. There's even bacon dating, if you want to choose your bacon dating partner, if you prefer really crispy or less crispy bacon, and so forth. So why do we date clowns, dead people, and bacon eaters instead of having sex with our actual partners? Well, the answer is very simple. It's a lot more fun. And that's pretty much all there's to it. It boils down to evolutionary psychology. Evolution telling us, well, you've been having sex with your partner for quite a while. You should be done by now. Either you already have your 2.2 kids, or you never will. Move on. On to the next clown, on to the next ghost, on to anyone else. Because fun is nature's way of telling us what we actually should be doing instead. It's a reward system. It's kind of like cocaine. Have you tried cocaine? Is this not the advertising industry? This is not the response I get in Sweden. Well, don't worry, that's what friends are for, and if you're friends with me, you don't have to try anything anymore. I've tried everything, and I can tell you what happens when you're on cocaine is this. This is what happens to your brain. A normal brain, if you scan it, lights up all over the place. Activities in all kinds of regions, saying, I like this, I don't like this, what will be the cost of this? Do I have the time for this? Is this really feasible? Have I washed my underwear lately? And then you go on cocaine, and basically all those activities shut down. And the only things that light up are fun, 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 fun. This is fun, this is good, this is fun, this is good. You don't care about time, you don't care about cost, you don't care about dirty underwear, you don't care about nothing. You just want to have more fun like that. And it's the actual very same thing. When you compare people who don't have fun, they're thinking about, okay, do I have time for this? What will be the cost of this? Do I need to clean my dirty underwear? But while having fun, they don't care about any of those stuff. Underwear through the roof, gone. Cost, time, everything is just happy, happy, happy. This is good. More clowns, please. On to the next one. Like that. Fun is nature's most powerful reward system, which basically tells you what you're doing is good. Stick to that. Do more of that. I mean, you've experienced that. Whenever you do something really successfully, whether it's at work, whether it's playing a video game, a tennis game, doing a math test, whenever you're doing really good, you get into that sense of flow, fun, which is nature's way of telling you, yeah, stick to this, do more of this. And that's the thing. When you have fun, you work longer, you work harder, you work more successfully. And it actually works the other way around too. If you can get people to have fun, that will rub off on what they're doing. So they'll work even harder at it, do even better. You can even trick people. I've done that with my math students. I trick them into having fun. We do laughing exercises. Ha, ha, ha. Tell funny jokes, stupid stuff, and then I throw a math problem in front of them, and they perform better. Because that's how screwed up nature is. Fun equates to doing well. So if you're having fun, you're automatically doing better. So that's a very simple lesson. If it ain't fun, you ain't doing it right. So make sure to have fun. Because fun rubs up. Fun makes you more attractive. I mean, that's why comedians get laid all the time. Because once again, nature tells you that person is having fun. That person is doing something really well. Stick close to that person. Be with that person, because that person is going to be really successful. If you do some big data crunching, which I have, on all these online dating sites, Clown Dating, GoSingles.com, Tinder, and so forth, you look into the dating profiles, the predominant word in all the profiles, what do people want from a partner? Fun. They want to have fun with their partner. If they just want to lay in bed and fiddle with their phones, they have one of those already. They want a new partner for the fun. Because fun is like an instant cue. When you have so many options, so many clowns to choose from, so many ghosts, so many bacon dates lined up, how will you be able to choose? How do you know which one to go with? Nowadays, on dating sites, it's an actual thing that you don't only list yourself as I'm single and available, or I'm married, or cohabiting. Most people nowadays are IBL. Involved, I have someone in the bed that I'm not sleeping with. I'm involved, but looking. I'm still open to suggestions. If something more fun comes along, I'll go with that. Everybody is involved but looking, and it's basically the same thing if you look at markets as a business professor, which I do when I'm not having fun. It kind of looks like this in most business markets nowadays. There are so many options available in all product categories that people can pick and choose from the very moment that things are released in the marketplace, and then open for new suggestions. I remember when I started teaching business and marketing, there was a thing called the product life cycle. Is anybody in here old enough to remember that one? Yeah, a few of you. I think it went something like this, that you have a product, you have a service, you have some kind of wonderful offer that you release in the marketplace, and bam, There starts the product life cycle with an introductory phase where you work and 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 you work for years until you establish yourself in the marketplace. You come to a maturity phase when you just harvest, milk the cow, harvest, milk the cow, something like that. I don't remember. Went on forever. And that might have been the case once upon a time, like the old millennium, like 10 years ago. Now we're in the new millennium. We're in an overcrowded marketplace where people are involved but looking, and you have a product life cycle that looks like this. You release your fantastic offer in the market, and bam, it's dead. It's a lot quicker teaching business and marketing nowadays, I tell you. And that's pretty much the case, right? I mean, look into more and more product categories ranging from consumer electronics to music to movies to literature to cars. The major sellers, they're not even in the marketplace yet. They're pre-sales. They're products that will eventually be in the marketplace and therefore are unique. There's nothing out there like this. I want to try this. And the very moment they're released, well, done. Moving on, just the day after, there will be some option identical to that one, cut down to half that price. I mean, you see that all the time, like the latest Apple iPhone installment, the iPhone 6. Does anybody remember the iPhone 6? Yeah, vaguely. Set all sales records once again before the release with pre-sales, and then within a couple of months they cut the prices in half. Couldn't move inventory. Everybody wanted it before it was released, and after that one there were so many options, so many other stuff available, and people thinking there might be something even funnier out there, right? Which is also what Netflix has realized. I worked a bit with Netflix, and they noticed that viewers, they love the shows, but they're always IBL. They don't want to have to wait for the next episode. There might be something even funnier around the corner. So if you don't release all the episodes at once, but one by one, you lose viewership. It's a difference of, on the average, 600%. If you release all the episodes at once, you increase viewership on that show by, on the average, 600%. Because people are willing to defect after watching the first episode. They're not hooked. They're willing to defect after seeing the second episode. They're not hooked. They're willing to defect after seeing the third episode. They're not hooked, and I can go on until the season finale. The one show that stands out, there's one show in Netflix statistics that really stands out, that got the majority of viewers hooked by episode 3. That's the only one. Do you know which show? Yeah, you know? I'm sorry, I'm terrible. House of Cards. Yeah, that's a good contender. Definitely. Got a lot of people hooked, even more by the second season, but not really by episode 3. It's actually Breaking Bad. Remember that one? And you see a pattern here. What is Breaking Bad about? There's something about that. Yeah, because the thing is, we're always IBL. I mean, we have everything we want, but we know that there's always more out there. And the very notion that there might be something even better, and that instant cue saying, this is more fun, this must be better. Because instant cues are becoming more and more important at the same rate as our attention spans are getting shorter and shorter. If you crunch the data from Google, from Microsoft and others, you can see that our attention spans right now are down to 8 seconds. That's what we have. Of course, that's based on online behaviors, but we're online basically all the time. And really, it's creeping into our physical offline behaviors too. I noticed that just the other day, I was parking my car in Stockholm, Sweden, in a part of town where for some very strange reason they didn't have apps for parking. So I had to get out of the car and go to an actual physical parking meter. What do I do? And they had a sticker on the parking meter which read, transactions may take up to 45 seconds. The reason for that sticker being that people start kicking, punching that meter after a few seconds, thinking there's something wrong with this, they're stealing my money. So I was aware it will take 45 seconds, okay, I'll try to cool off. Put my card in there, and the seconds started ticking away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and around 8 seconds, I felt, oh, my life is waning before my eyes. I'll take that 200 euro ticket. I don't want to stand here anymore. To hell with it. 8 seconds is such agony. That's a whole lifetime nowadays. And the thing is, within 8 seconds, how much cognitive capacity, how much of that brain will you be able to use? Well, virtually none. My experiments show that if you want to get that supercomputer, which this brain is, running, it takes, on the average, 8 seconds. All those things like empathy, all those things like insight, all those things like compassion, they take, on the average, 8 seconds to get going, which explains the terrible things with internet trolls and all those kinds, shaming and stuff online, because people, they just throw things out there before getting this thing working, thinking about what will this mean to other people, how will they react, what did they really mean, and so forth. And it's basically the reptile brain that works. And their fun kicks in, because fun, is immediate like that. And that's why on Facebook, Instagram, and so forth, we see all those fun kittens and people falling on their asses and stuff like that, because we don't really have time to communicate, but another kitten, another person falling on their asses, well, that we have time for all the time. We have time for Donald Trump. At least 8 seconds, but 8 seconds is pretty much the time we have, which is probably why that guy is doing so amazingly, bizarrely well, saying the things he does, because nobody really thinks for more than 8 seconds about what will that really mean to humanity, to people. It's just a, did he really say that? And forward like that. I mean, he's the first politician in history that people are even happy to be offended by. To be trash-talked by Donald Trump is, really fun, and you forward it to everybody to find out about that. I'd say fun is the reason this clip has been so successful.
Pull up out front, you see the Benz on dub. When I roll 20 deep, it's 29s in the club. Niggas heard I fuck with Dre, now they wanna show me love. When you sell like Eminem and the hoes, they wanna fuck. Homie, ain't nothing changed, hold down, G's up. I see exhibit in the cut, they nigga roll that weed up. Watch how I move, a mistake before I play up here. Been hit with a few shells, but I don't walk with a limp. In the hood, in the lady saying.
Have you seen that clip? You haven't seen that clip? You haven't dated a clown, you haven't dated a ghost. You see all the things you're missing out on. Don't ever leave these things behind. This clip is the very reason I came here. This clip is the very reason I accepted coming here, because I derived so much fun just thinking about what you will be saying when leaving the radio advertising summit, and people will ask you, okay, so what happened at the radio advertising summit? I saw there was a Swedish business professor there. What did he tell you? What did you learn? And you'll be answering, well, he showed us a clip of Jehovah's Witnesses informing the hearing impaired of the perils of masturbating to a beat by 50 Cent. That's pretty much it for me. This is Jehovah's Witnesses' most successful informational campaign ever. And they've done a lot of informational campaigns, right? You've had them knocking at your doors. You've had them calling you up. You've seen them online. They're trying everything. They want all of us all over the world to be Jehovah's Witnesses, bar none. Even the hearing impaired, please join us, but don't masturbate. So they put a clip online telling the hearing impaired they should be happy to have their tailored communication. Don't masturbate, and not even the hearing impaired bother about this until someone gets the great idea of just adding 50 cents in the club to that one. And that's pretty fun. Within 8 seconds, you have a lot of fun watching that, and boom, it rockets off all over the world to the extent that everybody, including my kids who are 10 and 13 years old, know everything about why one should not masturbate. And they can tell everybody they know. They've learned the entire thing in sign language. They can inform anybody in sign language. Why not to masturbate? Why? Because they want to be Jehovah's Witnesses? Because they don't want to masturbate? No, because it's fun, it's immediate, and it works like a charm. That fun component, I would say, is the same thing that has made this Nebbia shower a huge success on Kickstarter. Have you seen Nebbia shower? The thing about this, you know about that. There's drought in California. The 5th greatest economy in the world is suffering from drought. They need to save water. The entire world needs to save water. And there are so many great initiatives. There are so many great inventions enabling people to save water. There are a host of different shower solutions that will enable you to shower with less than 30% of average water consumption. But do you know about these inventions? Do Californians use these inventions? No. They want to save the world, but they don't really have the time. They are so busy doing a lot of other stuff, and there are so many components, so many things out there that they don't really have the time until along comes the Nebbia shower, and you have to look that up with a video, a kind of infomercial, which shows action live, what happens in the Nebbia shower. And the thing is, with the Nebbia shower, you can reduce water by making it basically vaporize into really, really small micro particles, molecules of water. So you're basically standing in a cloud of water, experiencing a kind of out-of-bodily experience, which is really fun experiencing and looks even more fun when you watch somebody else standing in a cloud and having that out-of-body kind of erotic experience. And with that fun, this is fun, it takes off. Not just because it's a great product, there are so many other great products out there. Not just because it saves the world, there are so many other products that saves the world, but it saves the world in a fun way. And that's what it takes. That enables fantastic new products like the Jesus toaster. Do you have a Jesus toaster? What are you doing with your lives? You're not having sex, you're not dating, you're not doing cocaine, you're not even doing Jesus toast. I love this product. It's not the world's greatest business, but it's $1 million business. By way of a Mexican couple, one morning, waking up, sitting at the breakfast table, and out of the toaster comes burnt bread, which kind of resembles Jesus' face. They look at each other saying, "Do you see the same thing that I'm seeing?" Yeah, it's Jesus, right? Resurrected out of the toaster, right there. And then they decide, we're going to quit our jobs and do what we believe in, what we've been missing all the time, the meaning in our lives. We're going to enable everyone in this planet to have Jesus resurrected out of the toaster every morning. They put it on Kickstarter and takes a couple of weeks, generates millions. Why? It's a business pitch. I do business pitch sessions with my students at the Stockholm School of Economics all the time. And I tell them, how do you recognize a great business pitch, a great new business idea? Well, go to your gut feeling. When you see something and you feel, I've never seen this before. This thought never crossed my mind. But now that I see it, I feel, yeah, this is what I've been missing all my life. I mean, that's what you're feeling with this one, right? Not really, but you do feel it's a bit fun, right? And that's enough. That bit of fun is enough to attract people's attention, attract their willingness to submit a few euros, dollars, and so forth, and make even this crazy idea into $1 million business. Because having fun together enables us to do anything. Which brings me back. Have you got any responses to the messages you sent? Raise your hands if you got any replies. That's pretty cool. We've been on here for 25 minutes. You're super busy people, and your friends are probably super busy too, and still they took the time to reply, which says a lot about the power we all have in just connecting with a word or two. And I'm pretty sure before the end of the day, before lunch, you will all have received replies. I've tried this with over 20,000 people by now. And some of you might get replies like, are you drunk? Do you need to borrow money? Because they wonder, what's up with you? Why do you just tell me that my hair looks nice or that you miss me? Because we're not used to people telling us this. But once they realize, I promise you, they'll be happy. And I've had people tell me on Facebook and Instagram what a great thing that was. We hooked up later, we had sex. Exciting things happen. And I've done studies, panel studies of almost 100,000 people by now, where I can see that little thing, just realizing that somebody likes me, somebody cares about me, can make people not jump around like on cocaine, but feel better about themselves and do things better for up to a whole week. Those very few words is real superpower, and you all have that. That's fun, I think. So thank you so much for sharing your time with me. Have a lot of fun and have a great life. Thank you.
Thank you, Micael. Well, that was fun.
Thank you.
I looked it up for you. I just checked it on my mobile. The Germans average 139 times sleeping together in a year. So we beat Sweden then.
I'm not going home to Sweden today.
Yeah, well, you can stay here.
You have my number.
It's going to be fun. Thank you very much, Micael Dahlen. Bin gespannt, welches Thema da abgesprochen war. Die Griechen übrigens 164 Mal im Jahr